Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I'm back talking about Dave Chappelle. Very proud of my first video of that. You guys clicked on a lot. Thank you. Finally, something broke through the algorithm. It also helped. I was one of the first ones to sort of see that trend coming. I saw it the morning after I watched that it dropped, and I could tell that cancel culture clip, everything that he was doing, this was going to have some fire. So thank you for supporting it. A lot of my clips aren't getting the same love, so if you can, it would mean a lot if you can go subscribe to this channel. Just hit the button, and then hit the little notification bell so you're alerted when videos come. Even when you do that, however, sometimes YouTube's algorithm doesn't want to alert when I do videos, and certain ones I do just get no attention. So please, if you see a video of mine in your feed or on Twitter, I would be grateful if you leave a comment, give a nice little like, just some sort of engagement to help try and get YouTube to actually take attention to this channel. So thank you for that. Let's get to the topic at hand, because Dave Chappelle's special has obviously been a lightning rod, and a lot of people now are talking about the Rotten Tomatoes score. And what's very fascinating to me is when I saw this starting to trend yesterday with people talking about it, his Rotten Tomatoes score was 33% on critics, rotten. Now it's gone down to 30. Now, I do want to call out some ridiculousness. A lot of people, and the reason I didn't jump on this story right away, guys, 10 critics have reported this. And let's be honest, Rotten Tomatoes is mostly for movies. It's not for comedy specials. Now, they've tried to make it so you can review anything, but movies are the ones that people come out, the critics come out for and actually review. So the fact that 10 critics came, you got to see the small print, are giving this a 30. It's 10 people in the world. It's 10 stuffy people who are offended, made a point to review this and to get clicks in their headlines and submitted it. And that's what's really happening. And I think slowly people like Jeremy Johns, I know, did a video, good on him, to defend sort of this is ridiculous. A lot of people are finding this funny, and I'm kudos for having the balls to do that. But clearly this is not the same as the audience, which is 99% of almost 22,000 people. That speaks a lot more volumes than 30% of 70% of 10 people don't like it. So a lot of people are reacting to this, but I wanted to talk about this because, one, it's going down instead of going up, and I want to talk about sort of why I think these critics actually are the problem, because I just don't think they understand, one, the special, and two, I just think they're the ones who are being very sensitive. They're accusing him of being, he clearly insecure, etc. They are unaware of how stuck in a bubble they are, and not realizing that this lightning rod of a special is speaking to so many people for a very specific reason. And it's the things that it's the whole title of the show. Guys, what's the show called? Sticks and Stones. What do you think that refers to? The old phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And what did all these critics get offended by? Words. That's the whole point of the show, and I think it's why this show particularly is going to stand above, in the test of time, above every other Chappelle show. Because this show, did he have an intent to piss everybody off? Absolutely. Was that the point, though? Yes. Why? Because he's proving how crazy our society has become. We are so sensitive, emotional, we can't see straight, and the reality is, there is comedy in everything, and certain groups don't get a pass to not be made fun of or be put in a hot seat. Now, is some of the stuff he says offensive? Absolutely. Just as offensive as it was when Andrew Dice Clay did it, George Carlin did it, Eddie Murphy did it. Everybody says offensive things. That's part of comedy. He's affecting groups that have now retained some power and are angry and they feel righteous. And there's an entitlement there that's really dangerous. I'm not calling any group out, but it's like no group is above any other. And that's the reality now. We've become so desensitized to it all as a society that we can't criticize or comment on everything. People are afraid to speak. People are afraid to back this special. People are afraid to talk to me. People are afraid to do anything regarding these topics. The Me Too movement swooped in for, I think, a fair reason. It's a very fair reason why Me Too came into about. But then things just, the amount of accusations without proof, the amount of people's lives just being destroyed, it's just scary. And now what's scarier for me is you read these reviews, you read some of these people, and I just don't think they really get it. I want to break some of these things down. Look at Paste Magazine. Garrett Martin says Sticks and Stones is terrible, and Dave Chappelle can only blame himself for that. So let's go to this review, right? Dave Chappelle's new Netflix special reminds us that the most successful comedians are also the most sensitive. Oh, clearly Garrett's not sensitive. Sorry, Garrett, but you are. It goes on to say that he doesn't give an F about the people who paid $70, $90 to see him live. The multimillionaire starts a special screaming platform by belittling everybody who's ever criticized any celebrity for insulting or offending people. Whoa, did you miss the joke? He's not just offending people for criticizing. He's talking about people who are canceled for the words they say, which happens now way more often than it should on social media. People are reacting and just tweeting, and news outlets take it as fact, and people's careers are being affected. It's a huge problem. And what's so scary about now what the media is doing is now that there's a backlash to this sort of, well, wait a second, due process is important. It's now like this new take here, which Garrett is doing, which is really, really scary to me. See, I'm trying to find it. This is special. He's paid. This is a special he's paid 8 figures for, and he's getting the full promotional push of the biggest outlet in the world today. Now, granted, I'm with him there. I don't think Chappelle's being canceled. People are trying to say Chappelle's being canceled. No, he's not. Chappelle's not going to get canceled because he got ahead of it before everyone else did. His supporters will not let him get canceled now. He makes an offhand joke about Louis C.K. dying in a masturbation accident. That's funny. Sorry, it's funny. And acting like his friend's career is over. Despite fellow millionaire CK regularly getting booked as clubs within months of the scandal breaking. I don't know how the richest and most successful comedians became the most entitled people alive, but it's not a good look. Look, I can see your point. As a non-millionaire who was canceled, I felt the heat a lot more than probably Louis C.K. did, but Garrett, to be publicly shamed is not something you can gloss over. It is an emotional wreck for family members in his circles, for his kids. That emotional and psychological toll can break a person. So for you to now sort of belittle it, oh, well, we didn't really do anything. He's fine. He's going to go make money. That's the turn, if you notice. That's what's going to now happen. Oh, we didn't really cancel these people. They just got a slap on the wrist. F you. That is just ignorant and it's dangerous. They absolutely got more than a slap on the wrist, and you don't have any idea what it's like to go through that emotional toll. So be careful of what's happening, and you as an audience be mindful of seeing that. If people now trying to say, oh, it's no big deal. Yeah, that was just a little thing that happened a couple years ago. Whoa. No, let's call BS on that when we see it. Now, the special just goes on. Again, it's all about being offended. The reason these reviewers don't like it, he dismisses and mocks Michael Jackson's accusers, defends Louis C.K., even jokes that trans people need to take responsibility for Chappelle's own transphobic jokes. He goes on about the alphabet people. He's just going on and explaining all the things that are offensive. But the reality was all of these things were pushing boundaries, again, to prove we can use words however we want as a society. You cannot like the words, that's fair, but they shouldn't hurt you. Every group should be able to be open to criticism. Just like you're saying Chappelle should be open to criticism, so should every group. This isn't creating hatred, it's creating frustration. And nobody's listening to the frustration of the other side. They're merely saying, whoa, you guys are ignorant and racist and wrong, and you guys are the enemy. Slow down. As Taylor Swift says, you need to calm down. It goes both ways. We all need to calm down. We all need to take a deep breath. We all need to have a conversation because it's ballooning out of control. And Chappelle's special is not disliked. It was not terrible. You got to look here, Garrett. This is just you and your bubble who didn't like it. 10 of you didn't like it. Well, actually, 7 of you didn't like it. 22,000 people did. What does that mean? Are we all racist, crazy people who are transphobic? Because that's more dangerous. That's what's happening right now. And clickbait articles like these are insanely dangerous. Look at this article. This person from Melanie from Saloon. Let's just make sure I understand. This is the segment she brought. Saloon. Sticks and Stones exists as a defiant design to intentionally offend large swaths of the audience. Chappelle deems too thin-skinned and easily outraged while serving up simple low-bar yucks to anyone yearning for validation of their anti-PC stance. So let's see how she manages to do this. Well, Melanie opens up the article comparing it to 9/11. On September 17th, the great David Letterman became the first to return to television after 9/11 blindsided New York, and his monologue eschewed attempts at humor, choosing to instead meet the confusion and mourning blanketing America with appropriate solemn acknowledgement. This became the pause the nation needed before feeling pressure to laugh again. In the wake of a horrific tragedy, nearly 20 years later, another great Dave has handed a different permission slip to Americans, one giving folks the green light to laugh at tragedies, and more to the point, the victims and survivors. Holy crap! Even she has the admit to say, maybe that's not being fair. The 9/11 attacks resulted in the deaths of 2,996 people and the injuries of more. A massive culture shift and calamity by any means. But what? What? That's what you're like, that's insane. This is insane. Saloon, you're insane. How can I take this review seriously? How is your emotion not in check? That's not, you're not being a critic. You are the one who has thin skin and is being insensitive. You're just looking past the fact of this is challenging. This special will go on to be, I think, Chappelle's most important special because he hit it right on the head. Sure, are some of the jokes offensive? Absolutely. Are some of them lazy? Sure. So I've heard some of these jokes before, but he just chose to use his fame and his popularity right now to just hit it harder than anybody's done it to date. Some of them had little jokes in their act, but Chappelle spent the whole hour just pushing everyone's button to prove the point of, I want this special to get me canceled, so you prove my point that we can't even just have a special there that people are going to laugh at and enjoy, and you're going to try and cancel anybody who finds this funny. That's what's so crazy about this world. And kudos to Chappelle for the special. I think it's brilliant. Did it make me uncomfortable at times? Sure. Are there jokes I'm like, am I allowed to laugh at that? Absolutely. Are there jokes that I'm like, that's going to offend people? Absolutely. But you know what? As he says in a special, you clicked on my face. You know what you're in for. And now Chappelle has set the flag and you know what he's up for. Don't watch a show. If you don't like it, fine. It's your right to not like it. But these ridiculous articles and people trying to just demean not only him, but the audience who is affected and frustrated by the things in our country. They're frustrated just like you are, Melanie. You're frustrated by being offended by everything. Well, guess what? A lot of people are frustrated that you're offended by everything. There has to be a common ground. We have to step back, take a deep breath. We need to calm down. In the great words of Taylor Swift, I keep saying that, but I know that's what it is. Everyone needs to just relax and realize that there are two sides, and and if you have conversations with the other side, I wonder if she's even had a conversation. Melanie McFarland, do you have really conservative friends that you can speak to and actually have intelligent conversations with? I hope so, but it doesn't seem like it, because to jump to a 9/11 comparison to what Chappelle is doing in a special is offensive. It's crazy. I mean, I just don't understand what's happening in this society. And then, the other thing that I think a lot of critics are going off of, and I can see this, Dave Chappelle shouldn't defend Michael Jackson. I mean, I don't actually agree with that headline at all, because I don't think it's fair for people to just assume Michael Jackson's guilty, because it's more complicated than that. But the point is, like, he really gets on and uses this to sort of make give him the cape of why he's the white knighting here, which he is, of just this isn't okay. Michael Jackson wasn't charged or officially, proven to have done anything. That's a very important distinction. And so the reality, though, is with Leaving Neverland, it is one of the most biased documentaries ever. It's not a documentary. It is a profile of two people who are telling their truth is what they're saying. But the reason so many other people, rational people, don't just take it and cancel Michael Jackson's music is because those two people specifically have perjured themselves in courts of law numerous times. They are not reliable witnesses. Go do deeper research. There's a lot of other research on the other side that the documentary doesn't even mention. And people are so bothered, and I think Chappelle's joke was so spot on. It's like a million baby D's in my face, HBO. What the hell? That's what they did. They just hit you so hard with gross and awful specifics. They're just like, well, this can't be a lie. Why would these two people lie? They've lied for years. So if they're telling the truth, that's awful. But I can't just say they're telling the truth when they have relied and had every opportunity to attemptedly put this monster of Michael Jackson away. But I'm sorry, no one's charged Michael Jackson. There isn't a single charge, and people are like, well, he paid for it, blah, 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 blah. Well, sorry, the man's not here to defend himself. The man has children. I'm not going to destroy his legacy and his music because of accusations. And we can't do that as a society. So you can choose not to listen to his music. That's absolutely right. But creating the mob to take him down after his death, when he fought it his whole life and won, That's just wrong. And so for this critic, and that's what this is all about. His bits on Neverland, though, is a clunker. He doesn't believe the two men tell their stories in the 4-hour documentary. Why do you? Why are you so sure? Were you there? Were you there? Because have you read the other side? You read a biased documentary. Have you seen both sides? No, you haven't. So you're so confirmed that you're going to put it in writing. And what if you're wrong? What if those guys lied? Then what? Are you going to do an apology or retraction? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. But then are you going to apologize for Chappelle for saying what he said? That's what's so crazy about it. You can be offended by it. You're allowed to be offended by it. But you're a journalist. And this is just crazy the way that people just state facts that aren't facts. Facts matter. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. That's the reality of this show. And everyone's getting way too thin. They are thin-skinned and emotional. And I'm not saying they're not allowed to not like it. They absolutely are not allowed to like it. But their emotions shine clearer than ever when you look at these things. Like dropping in on a rascally uncle who doesn't know or doesn't care how much he's disappointing you. Yeah, you, Inku Kang, you're the one who's clearly offended. 22,000 people aren't. What does that say? That maybe you need to step out of your bubble and say, well, crap, I am offended by this, which you have a right to be. But why are these people okay with this? What am I missing? That's the real conversation here. That's what Sticks and Stones is daring people to start having a conversation about. That is the conversation, and those are the types of conversations I want to have more of on this channel, and with influencers, people out there who are willing to step back out and have them, and let's challenge each other. Let's have these tough talks. That's what this should be about. Enough of this tiptoeing around issues. If we can't talk about it, let's talk about it, because yes, you're allowed to be offended, but why are so many people not offended? They're not racist and transphobic just because they laughed at a Chappelle special. They like the fact that he's pushing this boundary. We are frustrated as a society. We are confused. We don't understand sometimes. And a lot of people outside of California, in middle America, they're not around trans people. They don't know what that's like. They're just trying to learn. And then when they're punched with it, that you are transphobic, that turns people transphobic. We have to be more generous and patient with people and try and educate them. Education is key, not demanding and saying you're wrong and you guys are idiots for not understanding this. It goes both ways. It's important we talk about these things. And so this is another one I'm really hot about. I'm going to keep talking about it. What do you guys think? Tell me down in the comments below. Did you love the special? Were you offended by the special? Do you believe in the right of this special to be out there and that it's not dangerous, that it's pushing conversations that need to be had? That to me is what he was trying to do, and that's why I think this is his best special. Tell me down in the comments below what you think. Hit me up on Twitter if you have any other thoughts or other things you want me to call out there in the world of BS that we live in right now. I'm all about it. Please hit me up there. And again, like I said, if you haven't already, guys, please go and subscribe. I'm subscribed. Hit the bell. If you did too, you'll hear my videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.